By now you've surely heard of constellations, patterns of stars that are easily recognizable in the night sky. What you may not know, however, is that there are other patterns that are not considered to be constellations, and they're called asterisms.
The definition of asterism is a small group of stars that forms a visible pattern, but is not an official constellation.
But wait, weren't we taught that all patterns of stars are called constellations? And what's this official business anyway?
As it turns out, in 1930, the International Astronomical Union, or IAU, established a list of 88 recognizable star patterns. Since then, only those patterns which are on that list are considered to be constellations. All others are simply called asterisms. Not all asterisms stand alone, however. Several asterisms are actually parts of constellations. An example of this is one of the most recognizable asterisms in the Northern Hemisphere, the Big Dipper, also known as the Plough. By itself, it's not a constellation, but combined with a few other stars, we get the constellation Ursa Major, or the Great Bear.
The next question then is, why aren't all asterisms on the list of constellations, and where did they come from? In order to answer that question, we need to check out some astronomical history.
Around CE 150, Greek mathematician and astronomer Claudius Ptolemy published a document called the Almagest, which, among other things, contained the first 48 of our modern constellations. The list of constellations only grew from there until it was decided, nearly 1800 years after the Almagest, that the number of constellations should be limited. This is where the IAU comes in. They defined the 88 modern constellations, as we call them, and all of the patterns that didn't make the cut were demoted to asterisms.
Now that we know where asterisms come from, how do we find them?
There are tons of asterisms in the night sky, but there are 9 in particular that are bright enough and well known enough to easily spot. These 9 asterisms are called the Little Dipper, the Big Dipper, the Queen's W, the Pegasus Square, the Summer Triangle, the Great Diamond, the Winter Hexagon, the Teapot, and the Southern Cross. You'll notice that some of these asterisms are named after seasons. This is because these particular asterisms are best viewed during their associated seasons from the perspective of the Northern Hemisphere. For the Southern Hemisphere, use the opposite season. The seasons associated with the Summer Triangle and Winter Hexagon are obvious, but seasonal viewing also applies to the Pegasus Square, which is best viewed in autumn, and also the Great Diamond in the spring. The location of each asterism has been charted precisely by astronomers. However, due to the precession, or change in orientation, of Earth's axis over time, the location changes slightly. Because of this, astronomers need to adjust the coordinates of the asterisms and constellations about every 50 years. So how can we easily find these asterisms? Well, the best way is to use a map. Orion Telescopes provides a monthly star chart at this link, which you can print out and hold up to determine the orientation of the currently visible asterisms. If you prefer a more technological route, check out the Google Sky Map app on Android. It uses your location, combined with the device's accelerometer and compass, to display a map of the sky in whichever direction you point your device. iOS also has a similar app available called Sky Map, but it's not quite as good as the Android app.
Now that you know basically everything there is to know about asterisms, go outside on the next clear night with a map and see how many you can spot. I'm going to go do that right now. Bye!
Why can't I see anything?